right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Ready to get started. And I've got a new set of reference. I did some drawovers on this last. Well, I did some more work on her last night. So she's got some more interesting sort of setup. But then I also did some drawovers to kind of try to figure out some ideas. And I think there will be things like making these feel like what's that called? Just like wires, cables that have been wrapped in um in like some sort of cloth, some sort of woven like nylon encased cloth cables. So getting like that sort of feel for this bit in here, and it'll just kind of create this idea of the what the hair would be like. But yeah, it'll be more cables and things like that instead. Uh, hopefully, hopefully it turns out the way that I'm hoping it will in my head. I think it'll be fine. Um, and then yeah, just trying to get some different ideas out on here. I was able to get like some of the basic neck pieces in here, like the white and the black, but I haven't gone through and actually modeled in any of the details. It's just kind of blocked in for right now. And then the pieces on the back of the neck, I want them to feel kind of like these mechanical spine pieces, spine bone. So it's kind of some interesting things in here. I mean, I've got some uh, you know mechanized muscle and machinery going on in there. So yeah, I mean, it's just throwing some ideas around in there, and I think it'll work out pretty all right. But it's definitely going to be a bunch of work. But I definitely want to make sure that I put in, um, just strategy for this character. I definitely want to make sure that I put in more attention to detail per se. Like up here around the head and face, maybe down around the shoulders, possibly into the hands, and then into the feet. So like there will be like kind of this spacing of detail, and everything that I have going in up here, I kind of just want to have it slightly balanced down here by having something, not necessarily by having everything be like same as like levels of detail throughout. But yeah, we're definitely going to see kind of how this goes. I want just so that I can have like a reminder of what it is that I am trying to accomplish with this face. Go ahead and drag this down. I'm going to grab my IMM primitives. Let's grab this polysphere. Just gonna drag that out there. I'm just going to make a little floater for right now. So now if you don't know what a floater is, it's something that we use on Overwatch a lot. Essentially what it is, yeah, let's go ahead and say accept. And I mean, I'll show you for sure about what it is that I'm making here. But what it is it's just this piece of geometry that sits on the surface and kind of provides this fake detail. Um, it's a really cool little thing, but it's not something that ends up in your final model. It's something that ends up being just a way to yeah, let's go ahead and split these out. Um, make sure we have it selected. And let's hit local symmetry, turn off that dynamic. So yeah, you can see like this is kind of what it ends up being. What I want to do now is I'm going to say geometry. Now that this is about what I want, it's probably like a little too low. Let's work on the placement a little bit here. So that it's placed nicely over her cheek. Might be a little bit too high now. Let's put this. And it's like I'm trying to use the concept as a guide. I'm not trying to use it as like the end all be all. But here's what I want to do. I do want to take this piece and maybe I won't split it for now, but what I'll want to do at some point is take the polygroups and split them so that they keep a nice sharp shape. This piece will in effect become kind of a way to trick the light in creating normal maps information. When I come down here, let's say project, not geometry, we do want to project color. Here we're going to need to increase our distance. It doesn't want to. Let's do this. We'll come in over here and we'll just paint it out so that it's the same color as what's around it. And then what we'll do is we'll take the lower green bit here and yeah, let's just split it. It might be easier. Here, let's say unweld groups border. Okay, so now we've got this going on. And then with this bit right here, what we want, I'm actually going to go ahead and give it that color. Let's see, or maybe this color. Let's just go ahead and do that. We'll say color fill object. So now we get this sort of idea here. That might be wrong. I don't know. Might end up changing it. See what we do, but it's a matter of just trying something out. Let's turn on our. Let's hit crease. We'll say crease PG. It's not holding its shape as much. So let's see. Let's go to. Let's just boost that crease level so that it's a nice sharp shape. So now in effect, when this gets baked in, it'll create this idea of being a detail even though it's not actually modeled in. It's just a great way to not have to model every little detail in. I could sculpt it in, but then it's harder to edit. So that's kind of the motivation there. But I'm liking that. So I mean, right now inside of ZBrush, we can really easily see the edges on this piece. When it gets baked on there, you won't see those edges at all. It's really cool. It's really cool. It'll literally just look like it's kind of this piece that's inset into the face. And since it's something that doesn't break the silhouette when it's baked on, you know, it'll be cool. It'll look really nice. Oh, but something else I wanted to do, I forgot in my draw over. So I like a lot of what's going on with the face, but I do want to change some silhouette things. This cheek, it's a little too flat. So I mean, we're gonna totally ruin our placement that we just did. But it's okay, we can fix it. But yeah, I just wanted to go through, make her cheek feel a little bit more, like have a little bit nicer of a silhouette here. So it curves down, has a change in that curve, and curves down the other direction. Because like that looks much more full, looks more interesting. I like that. I like that. Yeah, let's go back down to these floaters. There we go. That's better. That is better. I am thinking about making the nose taller. Because I mean, one thing that's happening is like in the concept, I do kind of like how the bridge of the nose kind of comes up higher. Kind of turn my screen a little bit here so that way it's like when I lean in to be able to work, it's like I'm not like leaning out of the frame. um, One of the things that I like is that that bridge of the nose comes up a little bit higher. I do like this, but I do feel like my topology. I don't know. It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to balance out what I. Yeah, I think that'll work. It's like the thing that I'm trying to be very, very careful of. I want to make absolutely certain um, that I don't lose my nice flow. Because if I'm not careful, oh come on, if I'm not careful, I could very easily lose some very important structure that I have. It's like right in here. I'm trying to make sure that whatever pinching is created, that it feels very controlled. Um, I don't want it to be a byproduct of miscare. so so we got that sort of thing going on there. I do want to add in another piece right here because this is not. I don't know. Maybe it's not a matter of adding another piece because I have plenty of geometry here. In fact, I'm going to go through and start getting rid of some of this. So otherwise it's going to be too heavy. Oops. Get rid of that. Just trying to get rid of like practically every other one. And I mean, we might go ahead and do more too, but let's see. Let's add that in. Let's add that in. We'll take this out and this out. Take that out, take that out. That's fine, that's fine. We'll take this, take this, take this, take this, take this. We'll leave that. Hey, Prashan. Yes, they always get baked down. Um, you do need fairly high textile density, but like for instance, most floaters, like for instance this one here in the face, since this is on the face, it is going to have it's going to be part of a texture resolution that's like 4K, so it should have enough. Um, I mean, it's a really great question, but yeah, it's something that it should be it should be enough. Um, Boy, that's getting really spaced out now. But yeah, it's a really cool practice. um, it's one of those things that, you know, like everybody at work, like when, you know, we all whenever when each of us learned about floaters, we're just kind of like, wait, you can get that kind of detail out of something that's not really there. Like, wow. Yeah, one of my favorite examples actually. Let me see if I can pull up. Uh-oh, internet. Where's my internet? It's just here. Oh, before I go looking for stuff though. Save. Okay. Now I can go looking for stuff. ArtStation. Joao. I forget his last name though. There are a lot of them. Wow. Is it this guy? Nope. Joao Overwatch. Okay, this is the right guy. There is a skin that he does a lot of like the diva skins, which is really 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 cool. Not Stinger. There's one that's like a kind of like ancient Chinese sort of style, and it's really gorgeous. Um, yeah, maybe what I'll do, I have to go into his profile. Airborne Studios. It might be under Airborne, but Overwatch 2. Nope, it's not under Airborne. I better pick a diva skin to look at. Nope. I mean, this is a diva skin. Airborne. Airborne. Everything's airborne. Shoot, maybe I won't find him. Oh, this must be him. There we go. This one right here. See, this is amazing. All these bits in here. Let me go ahead and open that up in another frame. Let's grab the high poly and open that up in another frame. Yeah, this is absolutely incredible. So right up in here, I mean, we can see some really cool details coming into this, but like these things are not modeled in, they're not sculpted in, and it's super super cool. It's super super cool. But then to be able to see kind of what it is that he did with the floaters, you can see around the base of each and every one of these spikes, he has this little floater that kind of comes up and makes it look like it's more kind of inset, it's more incorporated. All these sorts of little details. This is a floater, this is a floater, this is a floater, this is a floater, this is a floater. You know, everything you can see that's not main form detail, it's all floaters, and it's gorgeous. It's so stinking cool. Even like these swirl details in here, I'm pretty sure this is a floater. Okay, a lot of things that he was able to do and accomplish. All these little grooves here on these turbines. It's all floater work. Now it's not like, yeah. So yeah, just like I was explaining a few minutes ago. You might have to go back and rewatch. But these floaters, it's something that just sits on the surface. It gets baked down so that it becomes part of the normal detail and not part of the actual model detail. But you have a model that kind of facilitates the look. The nice thing about this technique is that you don't have to worry about modeling it in. And so as I'm going through and I'm creating a couple of these little floater ideas in here. So this will eventually get baked down into the face so that it becomes um, a normal detail. And I'll have some of these kind of elsewhere in the on the model as well, just to make sure that I'm getting a good balance of detail. And then I'll have other details that I'll put into my character. Like there are things like I could create floaters for the neck. I want to be able to create this idea of um, like these grooves, these not grooves per se, but like a piping. So we get like this interesting sort of look there on the neck. I'll definitely be getting some ideas going down through here. I'll possibly create some floaters to be able to create this interesting um, surface change detail here on the neck, possibly on this bit in the hair. Really cool. Oh, it's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. It's high poly to low poly stuff. But it's all like floaters. The idea of floaters is stuff that you don't want to have to model in. It's just something that helps to give lighting information for your normal maps. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, you got that. You got the idea. You got the idea. You got it. P Ghost. P Ghost 007. Yeah, it's fun. It's such a neat technique. You see, I'm going to take this. I got to either delete. Let me see. Yeah, just delete this. The this neck, I'm going to want to actually make it so that this whole top piece is part of that neck piece. So I'm going to, let's grab this. Uh, Neglected a couple little pieces over there. Okay, so let's grab this. We'll say split that out. We'll say merge this down. Oh, that's why. Okay, let me see. Didn't I split out the body? I didn't split out the body. Why didn't I split out the body? I swear I hit split hidden. Okay. So now let's grab this. Now we can say merge down. And let's see about fixing some of this bit right here. Let's say slide that up, slide this up, slide this up. Oops. There we go. Slide this up. In fact, we could probably just get rid of this this outer loop right here. Want to make sure I don't get rid of too much though. Say geometry, modify topology, delete hidden, and then we got this this bit right here. We should be able to bridge this just fine. Polygroup flat, minimum resolution. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and grab that color. Say color fill objects. That way this is starting to be a little bit more what I want. You know, getting more of that solid color in there. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's learning's great. Learning is one of those things you got to keep it up. You know, it's I'm still learning too. It's like I was saying, like something like floaters. It's such a simple concept, but it's one of those things that I never would have thought of on my own. Um, it's such an experimental thing for me that it's like, yeah, I would have needed to have to have had somebody like show me like like what did you do? Grab this, say closed. I want my Z intensity down to like 50. I want it a little longer. Whoa, what just happened? That was interesting. Huh. I guess we'll call it committed then. So the way that I bridged this piece together was using ZModeler. I have a lot of content dealing with ZModeler. So, if you want to go through and kind of look at that, I mean, I totally recommend it. Um, but yeah, essentially it was just a matter of selecting my pieces and then having them so that they're a single subtool. And then with the Z modeler, you can see that you hover over a component, so you have edges, you have points, and you have faces, and each one will have their own set of actions. Uh, thanks, man. I'm excited about it. So like these edges, you just click over it. You've got this bridge. You have two holes, and then everything in here I just leave default most of the time because it doesn't really seem like it does enough of a difference. Um, and then I went ahead and I have minimum resolution and polygroup flat just to be able to make sure that it doesn't give me weird banding, like different like alternating polygroups and whatnot. It's just gonna be a single polygroup color. So this gets nice, and then you just click on one open ring, and then click on the next one, and it's in fact we can do it right now. Delete hidden. Just click on one, click on the next one. You see, like it goes through and bridges it together. Oh, but it didn't. Jerk. Okay. Say delete hidden. Okay, so now we can go ahead and we can click, and it'll just kind of bridge that gap as smoothly as possible. Okay. I'm going to leave it like this for now, though. Okay. So now we've got this. I'm going to go ahead, let's say split, unmasked. What I want to create right here is I want to create a really cool, making sure I do not forget. Yep, yep. It's a fun technique. I really, really like all of this. So let's see if we can start blocking in some interesting shape for this collarbone piece. Kind of pull that together a little bit. I'm wanting to try to control shapes, and I'm wanting to try to create an idea. Like you can see how it's getting like. I mean, this is all uniform right here. This thickness right here. But then I'm trying to get like a thick here and a thin here, and I'm trying to find different ways to make the design more. Um, yeah, I learned about it from Rakan too. Like Rakan is the man. Well, I learned about it from other people too, but I learned about it like Rakan is definitely like one of the main people I learned it from. Those floaters. Hold on. But yeah. Um, you know what? I wonder if I made that so that this was getting nice and thin here toward the outside. It's kind of hard to see exactly what I've got. Let's do this. Maybe this isn't same on top and the bottom. That's kind of cool. It's not quite long enough, but we can lengthen that. Average time I spend on the model, it depends. Yeah, Rakan, the great mouse sculptor. Um, yeah, it definitely depends because and it's such um, a tricky thing to quantify because it's hard to keep track of. I know that, like, for instance, our character artists on Overwatch, they keep very tight track of the actual time that they spend on any given character. Um, Not that they'll always know it off the top of their head, but you know, they track it, they monitor it. Um, I would say that for myself personally, it depends on the character. This character, I have a timeline. I have like a crunch on. Yeah, I suck at time management. I do too. um, this character, I have to have her done by the 26th, I think, the 25th, the 26th. So I have like 10 days. Um, but in order to make sure that I have my character, that I have her UV'd, that I have her, so I have everything worked out the way that I want, um, that's going to take a ton of work, and it's definitely not going to, I'm definitely not going to have that full 10 days. Like, I started this on Friday night. And I've made some good progress. I need to make more progress though. Like, I need to go through and block in her like, push her body some to get the body to look the way that I want. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that I need to I need to do. UV's fun. They do take some time. I find that I'm getting faster at them though, so that's nice. Definitely not the easiest things to do, but it's fun. Okay. So far as the body, let me see. I'm trying to think if let's do this. I am going to say, what does the topology on the body look like? No, we don't have anything there, so that's, I'm going to create that vest so that it's there, so that I don't have to worry about like guessing what's going on. I can start working on different design elements that go together. Should be kind of cool. Let me see. Let's say append. We'll just say a cube 3D for now. Say initialize cube. this out this way. I don't want the body initialized, I want the cube initialized. It's like, no! Why you do this to me? Come on. Get rid of those. Cool. Okay, so now essentially what I want to do, control click and grab that, then we'll control click and drag it. And this will be kind of the base form for our vest. So you see now we're getting something like this. Let's go ahead and grab this. I'll also grab this. I can grab that too. That's fine. Geometry, delete hidden. Let's place this where it needs to be. So this is where we're going to use some Z modeler. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Oh, and you know what? We'll also use slice curve, just to be able to put in a nice clean edge in there, you know? Right, let's get rid of these other loops that we don't need. Okay. So now I'm going to control click on that purple poly group. Control click and drag. Do something like that. We are going to actually want to make sure that's mirror and weld. Insert multiple loops. Let's just go ahead and click and drag. Click and drag. Okay. Blop, blop. Just to make sure that we have a decent number of polygons in there. Let's say initialize, not initialize, display properties, hit double so we can see both sides, right? Inside and outside. Yeah, using triangulated meshes to do UVs, that can be tricky. That can be tricky. Alright, let's take this. We'll say deformation. I'll say polish. So this way we get a little bit more of the shape that we want. Make sure symmetry is on. Just to make sure that I'm super symmetrical, say mirror and weld. Yeah, you can see we got messed up. You know what? I want the other side. So let's go ahead. We'll say deformation, mirror, then geometry, mirror and weld. Okay, so now let's make sure we've got our symmetry turned on and we can start working on this again. All right. Let's grab that select lasso. Okay. Nice. So we can just grab this, soften our mask. Heh, good eye. Thank you. Interesting. I'm getting some interesting effects here. Let's turn that off. Say mirror and weld. Let's make sure that we're getting this. Okay, now we should be good. All right, we've got the poly group on the right. Yeah, we're good. Okay, now we should be all right. Okay, let's grab this and we'll just kind of swing it in some. I got you. Thank you. Oh, that's right, because I pushed things in. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I just want to make sure that that stays nice and masked, because otherwise we get it all messed up. Okay, let me see. I gotta kind of pull. Yeah, you know what? Let's grab another. Let's take this spotlight. Kind of shrink down to like this mid-range view, so we can kind of figure out like exactly what it is we want to get here. Okay, it looks like we got some good stuff going on. So let's do this. We are going to. I want to take this opening, and I want to make sure that it is, sitting cozy the way that I want. And like, I don't want the. Well, I certainly don't want it like intersecting with the arm down low, but that'll be fixed as we have more of a vest to, more of a final shape to play with. Let's kind of pull this in some. Kind of pull this around. Pull this back. Yeah, right now it's all about kind of shaping and getting that form in there the way we want. Okay, I'm going to do this. Let's grab that, make that all one poly group, and then we've got this little guy here. And then let's control click and drag on it. Just kind of shrink it down. Here, let's do this instead. We'll say deformation, we'll say polish. And we'll say polish by groups. Then we can turn our local symmetry back on and we can make this a little bit bigger so that it fits the arm. This hole, I'm going to want to make sure that it is big enough, certainly to fit the arm, but especially big enough to kind of leave a little bit of a gap. I want to have a little bit more kind of just showing through from this hole, so that way we get just like an interesting view at whatever is underneath that vest. It should hopefully make it more interesting. Okay, so we got that, we got this. It's kind of even, make those a little bit more even, make that a little bit more even. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. Let's give this a little bit of thickness. That's a lot of bit of thickness. Bring that down. I'll take my offset in so that it's not hanging off the body more than more than I have designated already. Do something kind of like that. Okay. Right here. Here, I'm gonna kind of lower this down so this becomes more of a. Let me see. Trying to decide exactly how I want to do this. I do feel like this is maybe a little. Let's do this. I'm going to add in another set of edge loops so that we can have enough space, and like enough resolution and enough, just enough, right? Say keep polygroup, keep polygroup. All right. We just got to make sure that everything's got the nice flow to it. So one of the things that I want to go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and grab that, kind of tweak it so that it's got nice flow. One of the things I want to go through and do is I will be modeling in this detail right here, where it's got like this one segment right here, so it's like a bit of a, I'll say a puff. Let's say a single edge loop right here. And if we put one in right there too, it allows me to take this and we can kind of like push it in and out. I'm not going to worry about that quite yet, because I do still want to go ahead and let's say scale this out. I do want to make sure that I get my thickness first. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so there's my basic vest. I might add in another couple of polygons in there too. Say modify topology. Oh, not mirror and weld. Sorry, delete hidden. The other mirror and weld. Let's go ahead and insert, so that way we're nice and even going all the way around that hole. Let's get ourselves a little bit more geometry in there. Let's slide this. I don't know. Maybe we'll slide it this way. Slide this down. Say insert, and then we can say slide. This way we do have like equal number on top and on the bottom. And an even number going all the way around. I don't know. It's just kind of nice. It feels right, you know. It's going to come down here and kind of tweak everything from different angles so that we can get the best possible shapes. You know, setting ourselves up for next steps by trying to make sure that everything is as not squared away, but you know, properly distanced and things like that as possible. do this. I'm going to say dynamic. I'm going to say apply. So now if I have dynamic on, I want to make sure that my thickness is off, and we can set this up to like 2 or something like that. So now we've got like this nice smooth vest that we can play around with. I'm going to go ahead and kind of puff it a little bit here on the inside. I just want to give it a little bit of like a thickness, just make it feel a little bit more girthy. And then I also want to go through and more seriously puff it on top. Okay, so that's looking pretty cool. She'll have to have like a trim going along the bottom to be able to get this bit in there, but you know, it'll be cool. Alright, let's see. We'll get to that at some point. And then we'll also need like some sort of tubing that goes around the outside of her armholes. I want to make sure that this is sitting on top. Sitting on the outside. It's funny, I love the idea of this theme. I love Neo Tokyo ideas, you know, like there's so many cool aesthetics to it. But there are so many art challenges that go through ArtStation that are Japan themed. Like we don't do anything that's like, you know, like India or Middle Eastern, or I guess it could get probably a little bit more political if it were to be something like that, but but yeah, let's go in here. We'll say mask edge loop partial, and that way we can go ahead and we can control this in this way. Oh, I wonder if let's do it this way instead. Let's say inflate. This way we're not losing as much depth here on the front. Okay, so now we're getting this interesting sort of shape here. I do want to separate it so that it's different colors on the top versus the bottom. Make sure we have the rest of the top there. Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah, like I've always wanted to go through and do like one of my favorites is, well, I love Vishnu, but then there's also oh my goodness, I'm blanking on his name now. the elephant with the forearms, because I love that idea of that, you know, his is that Vishnu? Ganesh. There we go. There we go. The remover of obstacles. You know, like I thought that was super cool. You know, so yeah, I don't know. I super enjoy that stuff. I super enjoy that stuff. Let me see. I kind of want to fix the way that this is flowing here. And granted, there will be a hood at some point, so it's not really like it's a huge deal for me to go through and make sure this is all super perfect up in the back here. But having it somewhat worked out is kind of helpful. I want to get this so that it's a little bit more of like that's not quite right. Let's see. It's not enough saturation to it. Still not quite enough. Let's see. That's not quite. That's not quite the right color. But it's like that's not quite it either. It's like it's really interesting trying to. Yeah, here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and I'll kind of make this like a super desaturated blue gray. And then what I can do is make it a little bit warmer up top. Just so you can kind of feel a little bit of like age and story to it, but it also creates this dynamic interest to it. It's kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what we decide to change later on. All right. Let's see. I still don't know exactly what I'm wanting to do with the body per se. I do know that I want to have I don't know, like I really want to play with some of these ideas of what exactly is going on with as my thought trails off. I do want to play with the shorts a little bit, and I can kind of redo shape and whatnot as needed after playing around with these. Modify topology, delete hidden. But yeah, I feel like my mind is like starting to move around a lot, and my streaming, like my talking, can't keep up with it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. There's just like a very beautiful aesthetic to um, very beautiful aesthetic to the way that those gods are portrayed. Um, Super cool. It's super cool. You know what? Let's say I'm going to grab this. Let's say deformation. I'll say inflate. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a ton. And then we'll go ahead and we'll inflate a little bit more with everything unmasked. And then I want there to be kind of like a split in the short, probably here. Do something like that. We'll say inset. Geometry, delete hidden, yes. I just got a screen report from my watch saying, good job, you had less screen time than you usually do. And it's like, if only you knew. If only you knew. It's like, friend, you are dealing with a 3D artist. I'm always on a screen. I might be able to. You wouldn't be able to send me a link here, but if you send me a link on Instagram, I can probably give something a look. It might it might not happen very quickly. Just as a disclaimer. especially especially with the way that everything's kind of going for me right now with trying to get this what's it called? Get this contest worked on. But but yeah. Cool. The shorts don't feel like they're quite as short as I'd like, but yeah, I don't know. Let's try getting rid of. And we're gonna have to like play with the way things are happening in here. because right now it's a little bit too anatomical, not enough short. So we'd have to kind of play with that a little bit, but not too bad. Let's come in here. We'll do this. I mean, that's feeling even more like what I think what I need to do here. Let's do this. I'm going to minimize the number of polys that I'm working with to be able to create this. So let's do that. Boom, 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 boom. Here, let's say collapse poly loop. Get that to collapse over there. Get that to collapse over there. Get that to collapse up. Oh, hold on now. You're supposed to go over there. Right, there we go. I like to work with fewer polygons. A lot of that comes from just being able to control things. Because I mean, especially when you get into complex characters, like it can be a lot. It can be a lot to have to deal with, and so the fewer things that you have to control, the better. Let's kind of pull this away so that it's not like a perfect butt cheek. Just want these to feel more like shorts. So we're gonna try to get the way that these edges drape. Need to make it so that it has a bit more of that shape. It's like starting off with the anatomy pieces, it works really nicely, but it's definitely one of those things where you got to go through and tweak things. Okay, something like that. It's definitely going to be easier to control this. So that's nice. Perfect butt is a myth. No, it's not. In fact, I'm curious if I have it too high up on the waist now too, so maybe I'll get rid of a couple of these, kind of elongate her torso a little bit by shortening the shorts from the top. We'll do that, and then we'll add a. Let's keep this, and this will become the band. Delete hidden. go through, we'll kind of tweak this so that it feels like it's following the form better. Say mask. Let's see. I am not certain at all about what colors. Let's use my painterly brush and we'll just kind of get some slight color shift in here. Okay, for the shorts, I'm thinking, I don't know, let's make it like a neon yellow for now. We'll keep it kind of muted for now, just to be able to. Because like it could be interesting to play around with this idea of having like a neon colored short. But let's go ahead and insert single edge here. Yeah, let's say scale, edge loop. Something kind of like that. So I mean, it could be interesting just to kind of entertain it for now. The body, I'm definitely not sold on having the body like this, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. There are definitely going to be some things happening, and then the legs are going to be super changed out, much more mechanical. I'll probably keep the thighs. I'll probably do something with the thighs, like I did with the arm in my sketch. But then the lower half of the legs from the knees down will probably be more mechanical, like obvious mechanical. Let me see. Let's get some more material change going on up here. Let's say rough metal. Skip that. MRGB color fill object. I don't know if that's the right solution for these pieces, but we'll see. Yeah, let's see. Let's go ahead and say, what am I looking for? I'm looking for polygroups, group by normals, and we're actually going to want to try to get, let's say polygroup, single poly, so that way we get a different polygroup here. Oh, here, let's say mirror and weld, just that we're doing the same thing on each side. Okay. So now we can go up here, we can say crease PG. Get all those different creases, which that'll be nice. It's a little bit too round. say put the crease level up to 2. We'll say put the dynamic up to 3. And that'll be good enough for now, just to visualize and have something there, right? Cool, cool. Semi-cyberpunk. Yeah, in a way, like kind of pushing for some of those ideas, but also trying to do something fresh and different. It's like, yeah. I think I'm probably only going to keep going for another couple minutes here. And then go about the weekend. Try to do something with the family. Could be nice. Okay. I'm going to add in an extra edge loop here and here. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and give this this top band a different color here. Say RGB color fill object. Just to see kind of how that goes. Now, I'm looking at this this bit of the body and thinking what I can do to make this feel a little bit more interesting. Currently, what I'm looking at, and maybe I'll just do this real quick to be able to block in color and then call it a day. I'm thinking that let's kind of hide that mask. Let's go to the paintbrush. We'll see about testing out a color here. Let's grab, instead of being so dark, let's make it so that's more like this this color here. Here we'll say color fill object, so we get that a little bit more filled in. I want to try to get like this this idea of like a side slit, so that it feels a little bit more I don't know, just kind of interesting, kind of trying to play with how that looks. This piece up here, I mean, I'll have like separate geometry for, say, like the breast will be more of like these attachments. I'll probably try to put some of these floaters down here, like maybe like 1, 2, 3 or something like that. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure yet. And then let's add in, I want to add in a sternum. Let's do that really quickly actually, because I kind of like that idea. Okay, I'm going to say subtool split unmasked. And then here's what I'm going to do. Let's come in here. We'll say flatten. Oh, that got really odd here. Let's just start over with this fresh new piece here. So that way we know we're getting something. We know that we're getting something easy to control. Let's come over here. We'll say flatten. I'm just going to turn on my symmetry just so that we're working on both the front and the back at the same time. It looked like a cat bell. A little bit. It's kind of funny. Let's say accept. Turn on symmetry. And then I'm trying to decide. I think let's get rid of these right here. And I might let's get rid of these too. Just so we have fewer pieces to work with. We'll bring this up so that this is kind of, connected to the top there. Go ahead and bring this. We'll say control, click, and drag. Control, click, and drag. And then I think that might be... might be all I need. I do definitely want to make sure that this is nice and tapered down. The shape of this piece is going to help kind of establish an idea for the rest of the model. You know what? Let's grab this. I'm going to say collapse poly loop. Let's get this, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Just so that, again, easier to control. We'll get rid of this too. It's not a big deal to have that quite yet. Let's just keep it simpler. And in fact, what we could do, we could just totally eliminate thickness altogether, and then, make thickness be generated for now. I'm going to go ahead and grab that color, and let's say mRGB, sweet, color fill object, awesome. Okay. Yeah, just working on the plane is what I was considering doing. I think I should just, I will. Geometry, modify topology, delete hidden. Just go ahead and grab this, delete hidden, hit dynamic. Offset in the negative, so that way we're going down, and we'll keep it like that for now. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to use what's already here to be able to create our character's breasts. Let's see, let's come over here, let's do this, let's do this, we'll do this, we'll do this and this. We're going to have to bring back what is missing here before too long. Okay, there we go. We're good now. It's kind of a funny little quirk with ZBrush. Now, just to make sure. Okay, good. I'm always paranoid that it's like... I'm always paranoid that I'm going to lose my mesh if I hit delete hidden too early. That I'm like always on the wrong mesh or whatever, Let's go ahead and say insert. Oh, I didn't want that. Just really trying to take this down so that I have less to deal with. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do is work off of a duplicate, mostly because, I mean, things are already there. I don't want to have to redo work. But then it's also great because I can literally just, yeah, I mean, use the original as like as like a form, as like something to be able to form to, as something to be able to guide my decision making and things like that. Hey, let's turn off that vest. I don't need that vest at the moment. Let's get this a little bit more evenly spaced here. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to give this a little bit of dynamic thickness as well. I just want to make sure that this is like sitting on the top some. Let's make sure that these are not intersecting with the sternum bit here. And then I want to try to figure out a good color for what I want to use. This might be good to kind of fan out some. I don't know that I like that. I kind of like the idea maybe of having this maybe terminate right there. I don't know, we'll have to see. With these though, let's see if we can get, I don't know, again, I'm just kind of like throwing color in here just to be able to see. Yeah, I don't like that. Just to kind of see what it is that we get. Yeah, let's grab paint and we'll kind of just throw some of this color in here so that that doesn't confuse us at all. Essentially what I'm going to want to do is create like muscles that kind of create this shape here, and then muscles that create this idea of like, you know, the muscles on the arm too. A lot of this is going to be very shape based. Dude, oh, welcome. A Volpsy raid, oh my gosh. Well, thank you for coming. I'm like caught unaware. That's funny. I didn't know that she was streaming, otherwise I would have gone and jumped in and said hi to her. Yeah, let's go through. I'm just going to try to eliminate some of this here. I'm really trying to like search for color and shape. Hey Volpsy, how you doing? How are things in the land of Tokyo? The land of the Japan. You know what? I'm going to try taking this so this is a little bit more off-center. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. And I think that we're going to modify the body shape too, just to kind of fit more what's going on here. Since we don't need the breasts anymore, we're just going to kind of smooth them out. And this will essentially just become a form for for what's it called? For the muscles that'll go kind of underneath those breastplates. That's funny. 9.5 hours. Holy smokes. Finally starting to cool down. Yeah, it's kind of starting to cool down for it. It's 71 right now, but it's gonna be 91 later. So that's like insane. Oh no. Yeah, next year. That's a nice thing too, is that it'll be happening again next year. um, that was really it was a lot smaller this year. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, she's got some fun things going on. Definitely a lot of work left to do, but I think I'm getting a lot of these elements in the head kind of represented. Um, and then I'm kind of experimenting with the hair a little bit to try to see like what sort of shapes I want to put in there. Eventually, I want it to feel kind of like braided cable. Um, so it's going to be like cable coming in through here, and then this is going to be like continuous cable. So it'll be making the shape of this sort of hairstyle, but it's not going to be the actual hairstyle. Um, yeah, first one physical, first one back in person. Yeah, typing is hard, especially if you have an international keyboard. Like different keyboards. I don't know if Japan has different keyboards than we do in the States. But I know that when I lived in Chile, it was like that. We had different keyboards, and so it was always kind of a challenge. You know what? I kind of want to block in these pectoral muscles here. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's just do it. Let's use. What do I want to use to be able to do that? Let's use the curve tube brush. Make sure this is set up nicely. And then we'll give it a Z intensity a little bit lower. Okay, let me see. I need my anatomy model. I mean, she's just right there. Oh no! I just sent the other guy just falling to his death. That's sad. But yeah, I've got this anatomy model from 3D Total. Um, need to dust. um, but yeah, it's like just gonna go ahead and kind of use this as a form to get this idea going on in here. And I'm trying to reference my drawing to. Oh, and that's the other thing I wanted to do. Let's go into curve modifiers, turn on size. Let's flip the vertical, make it so it doesn't get to 0. There we go. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Curve, lock start, lock end. Well, it locked start, but it's bending that end. What did I miss? Eh. Yeah, I missed kind of the old functionality of these brushes. Oh well. New tools. Alright, let's see. I'm going to turn off that breastplate real quick. If I can find where it's at. Cool. Kind of pull this along, pull this along. Alright. let's go ahead. I'm going to use my transpose line. We're going to get this little bending action going in here. Boom. Okay, starting to get some interesting overlap here. Yes! It does get weird. You know what? Let's see. Let's grab this. Come down here so that we're working on something separate here. And I want to do something a little bit more, kind of maybe like, I don't know, it's like a red brown. It's a little bit too brown. That could be cool. Let's try that. Say color fill object. We'll play with that for now. We'll see kind of how it goes. And then, yeah, let's get back into this. Draw out some curves. By the way, I think this might be like the most people I've ever had in a stream at the same time. It's kind of funny. 71 people is what I'm showing up on my count, which is really funny. Okay, Snap's not wanting to work for me. That's fine. Yeah, it's your fault, my friend. Yeah, these people would never have shown up on their own. Okay, this is where I want to probably start branching this over. But it's fun. We've had a good time so far this morning, so it's been good. Okay, let's turn on that breastplate again. In fact, maybe what I want to do, let's go ahead and bring that down, just so that we're right next to each other there. Oh, I'm glad that I decided to bring that one over, because it was like perfect placement for it. Definitely needed it. Now, one thing that I'm getting in here that I don't particularly care for is that it's starting to feel a little bit too even. So let's kind of try to make a little bit of variety here with the raiding is the best. I actually don't know how to raid. I don't know how to do that. Of course, I'm not streaming on just one platform. It's just a Twitch thing, right? Yeah, it's like right now I'm connected to Twitch. I'm connected to the spamming emote part. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can figure out how to do that, because it's I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot that I don't know. I'm like so behind in everything. Everything. Oops. Here, let's see. I want to keep everything up to about right there. And let's actually just kind of elongate it like this. Let's see what we get. just want to make sure that there's enough to be able to create coverage. So that way it's, it's filled in. It's definitely a weird part of Twitch. These days you can do raid without the space in between. And then the username, and it'll start a raid, send over the triggers in like 60 seconds. That's interesting. So it gives people a choice of like, oh yeah, let's see what this is all about. And then I guess I'd have to have probably like, what's it called? My Twitch on so that I could see what's going on before trying to send anybody. Do you stream most Sunday mornings, Volpsy? Gotcha. Gotcha. That's pretty cool. There's people lurking. I'll send viewers over to the next person to help boost a bit, and also check out your stream. That's cool. That's fun. Yeah, I gotta see about checking out your stream sometime. I've always wanted to. I didn't actually. I don't think I even realized that you stream. So that's kind of a kind of a fun thing. Let's see. Let's get this out of the way so we can bring this down. Bring this down. In fact, what if I had this just to kind of create an interesting overlap? Maybe this will be, I don't know. I'll have to see if it looks good or not. Yeah. Yeah, I could take that. Take that and serve it up with a side of chips. There we go. That works. This feels a little bit too like even though. So I want to, let's minimize this one here in the middle. And it could be cool to get like a different color in there or something at some point as well. We'll take this guy and we'll just kind of nestle him up in there. Let me see. Let's see if we can play with some of this shaping. Try to smooth it. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to figure out what would make this work better. Yeah, let's see. Let's grab this and boom. I'm getting into focus mode. It's kind of funny. Okay, that could be kind of cool. We'll take that. Yeah, I didn't realize that you. Maybe that's what I was saying when I was buffering. But yeah, it's like I didn't realize that you stream, so it's kind of fun. But I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was that you would have missed. Just gonna give that some roundness. Okay, so that's starting to be kind of cool. Retired streamer. Just shooting the arrow in the dark. Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, with these, I'm still not sold on what it is that I've got here. So maybe it's just a matter of like playing around with it. Let's go ahead and pull that corner out so that it's seated on top. I don't know. It's interesting. You know, here's something I'm going to do. Let's give the arms their own polygroups so that they so that I can hide them. Okay, bring that back. What I want to do is I want to use my topology brush, and I'm going to grab start making some actual clothing here. I have no idea what my kids are watching downstairs. Just trying to form like my main arcs through here just to make sure that I'm getting something clean. Let's get something like that. I probably won't even make the whole thing. Like we'll just make it something like this, and then we'll say, you know, this and this, and then we'll make something like this that comes through, and then this will come up. Let me see. I gotta try to think for a second. How do I want this to go? I want this to go down, down, out, around, up and over. Let's do something a little bit tighter in there because that'll help to form the waist a little bit better. I'm just going to keep it kind of minimal down here, minimal up along here as much as possible. In fact, I might even just go ahead and get rid of some of these things through here. Just keep it more minimal. You know, give it just like those medium bits in there, and then we'll have this kind of finish out. Have that go up. Again, have that go down. Have this connect there. We're going to need to have something similar here on the front as what we had on the back. So we'll have to go down, we'll have to go over, we'll have to go up, we'll have to go out. Okay, so we start to get these ideas in here. And you know what? We might have to make this a little bit closer to, yeah, let's do it a little bit closer down here. Oops. Down, up, out. Okay. essentially what we're going to need is we're going to need, you know, for it to flow around. Yeah, because I'm going to need to have it so that it flows here like this. Let's do something like this. We'll have to mirror and weld here in a minute, but you know, it'll work. So we'll get this. And then right in here, I think, is where we'll create up, down, oops, down. It doesn't want to connect in the right spot there. There we go. And then we'll come out and across over this way. There we go. That does not need to exist, but it does. Nerds. Okay, that'll work. I'll keep that for now. This is creating some problems for me, which, you know, may or may not be too bad. I might just have to, yeah, we'll just keep it. We'll keep it and we'll just do what we do. Let's go ahead and commit it. What just happened? I bet it's because I had things hidden. Yeah, life definitely gets in the way. Oh, and streaming gets in the way too, you know? It is what it is. Okay. So let's go back. Let's grab this. Let's put it down at the very bottom of the list. Say geometry, mirror and weld. I'm not perfectly sure. It's like I just can't remember which side I need to go to. Okay, so it's the other side. I always do that though. It's so dumb. Alright, let's just go ahead and we'll say collapse edge. We'll get that. Get rid of that. Cool. So now we've got this piece here. We need to fill this part in here, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and we'll say extrude edge, sweet. Oh, and then snap to surface. That could be nice. Oh, need to have my symmetry turned on. Let's see, stitch to midpoint. Boom. Just make sure that's all one poly group there, and then we should be decently good to go. I'm going to say insert single edge loop here. Let's go ahead and make sure that that's down far enough to cover her. Let's take off all the creasing, and then we'll just like crease the edges. This center bit's not going to be fully covered yet, but we'll figure that out at some other point. Or maybe that's just intentional. Maybe we keep that. Yeah, so maybe what I'm thinking is maybe there's like this little window right here where maybe she's transparent or something. I don't know. Topology is the way. This is the way. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of make this dip a little bit more, maybe. Definitely a lot of work to do, but it's so worth it. For this particular piece, I mean, I did have this color set for it. Let's try putting it in there. MRGB color fill object. And then for the body, we'll just go back in here, paint this out so that it's got this nice clean shape instead. Nice. And maybe we'll do that for the rest of the body too. Here, let's just grab this whole thing. Color fill object. Yeah, still not 100% sold on it, but we'll see. We'll see kind of what it is that is what they say. Yeah. This is the way. With this bit right here, I mean, there's a lot of cleanup that I need to do to the mesh itself. Let's just make it so that it's not quite as. But then again, I'm running into that issue again where it just becomes too similar spaced. Just kind of alternate a little bit here. Ah, man. It's like I get into a groove and then it's like it's time for me to head out. Yeah. These pieces need to come out more on top, but they'll also eventually connect with, I'll have like some sort of knob here that kind of connects, makes this feel all unified and connected. In fact, let's do that. Control Shift D. Just want this top bit though. Modify topology, delete hidden. This way I can get kind of an interesting piece. Oops. Let's do this. Go around the other way. And then I can take this. Let's angle it. Let's say extrude. So this way we get something kind of like this. I don't know if it's okay. We got symmetry. We're good. So yeah, something like that could be kind of cool. And this way it's starting to create like this complex layered sort of effect. Everything feels like it has somewhere to go. Starting to feel a little bit more interesting. I still don't know what I want to do with these. That's like, excuse me, that's like not quite the right shape. Getting here takes time. Even just the time that I've spent working on this project. It's been a few days. I started it on Friday, so and I haven't spent, I guess a ton of time on it. But I did have, a place that I started from. Let me go ahead and hit save. Let me show you where it is I started from. Um, I started from a base mesh that I'd created. Let me see, ZBrush, library, must-haves, base meshes, and then female athletic. Oh wow, it's super big somehow. This is where she started. Let's do Phil, which I actually do have available for purchase on my online stores. Um, as you can see, it's got all the topology in there and everything like that. So yeah, it came from looking like this to looking like this. Lots and lots has changed. Um, so yeah, it's a really fun process. I really enjoy being able to work like this. Um, but it's definitely process. It's definitely time. It's definitely just a lot of thinking. So so yeah. Um, so yeah, this is where I'm going to leave her off. It's been a lot of fun, and I think I'll probably hey Rakan, you got it, brother. Go do her up with a mouse. uh, oh gosh, yeah, that's fun. That's fun. This is where I'll leave her off for now. And we've got a lot done. We're moving kind of starting with the head, right? And kind of moving out away from it. So, as we continue to move down the body, we'll go ahead. We'll start with the arms probably next. Next time thanks, brother. Thank you so much. Um, I'll probably start with the arms next and try to get the like muscle machinery worked in that sort of similar sort of way here, kind of similar to how I have my concept going over here. Try to figure out some different shapes, figure out how I want this to go. But yeah, she's coming along. She's coming along. Definitely a lot of work left to do though, but we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. Cool. Well, thanks for coming in and checking out. And dude, thank you, thanks again, Folpsy, for coming and saying hi, and for bringing all your friends with you. If anybody's interested in kind of seeing where I'm at, seeing any of my oh my goodness, this is like awkward sometimes trying to pull around different screens. I've got my link in bio. You can find all my links right there. All the different things, everything from my online store. You have Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all the funds, uh, and even have link to my personal website, which is if it wants to pull up. Yeah, so this is what this link will pull up. Okay, and then so you can get over into like my personal website. Okay, where you can join my Discord if you're interested in, you got my being able to watch live, visit my store. In fact, I've never actually gone in here while I'm live. Cool. Okay, so you come in here, you push play, and you're ready to watch. I need to update this section down below though. These are some of my streams that I've really super enjoyed though. Um, Definitely very old streams though, so we'll have to update that. Good deal. Well, thank you guys for coming, and yeah, gosh, I'll see you next time we see you. Smartest out.